So Game Pass the rest of this July and August brings 8 new day one titles plus more info on Call of Duty Black Ops for Game Pass. And finally, we have all the news on huge Game Pass changes that you guys don't want to miss because I have a lot of opinions. But with that, let's talk about all these July and August Game Pass games because we do have some good ones. So if you're looking for a super casual game where you don't have to invest too much time or effort, Flock might be it. It's a co-op adventure game where you and your friend get to play as shepherds, leading your herd of flying creatures through a variety of beautiful areas. And that's kind of pretty much the whole point of the game. You kind of fly around this vast open world, you collect these bird-like creatures to expand your herd, and it's just a really nice casual game. Flock will be releasing on Game Pass on July 16th. So EA College Sports 25 is landing on Game Pass, but not the full version. You actually get to enjoy a 10-hour trial through the EA Play app. EA just recently dropped the first extended gameplay, and to be honest guys, it looks amazing. Us football fans are really happy so far with how the devs have kind of done the gameplay here. The passing, the quick turns, the animation seems smooth, and overall the speed of the games also seem to have increased in a good way. I'm excited for this one. As I said, this one will be landing on July 16th. So the game Magical Delicacy kind of has like this brilliant mix of cooking and platforming, and in this game you play as a young witch who wants to become a great chef, and you will be journeying across this gorgeous pixel world to complete different tasks. You'll be gathering ingredients and you'll unlock new recipes and deliver your dishes to the people of this unfamiliar town. What I do really like is the style of this game. It's full of detail and makes the world feel really wholesome and welcoming. If you're someone who enjoys cooking or simply just looking for something relaxing, you want to play a new day one Game Pass game, I think you want to give Magical Delicacy a shot. This one arrives on Game Pass on July 16th. So we have another day one Game Pass game in Dungeons of Hinterberg, and this is another game we've been waiting for. It's an action RPG with a focus on exploration and puzzles and monster slaying. Now here you play as a young girl spending her vacation in a beautiful village with hidden dungeons full of monsters and magic. Now as you explore the game's world, you will be faced with environmental puzzles to solve in order to unlock new areas, each introducing completely new monsters to slay and then obstacles to of course to tackle. Now the art style in this game kind of reminds me a little bit of Zelda, but it's got its own unique touch of fantasy. Besides the slaying business, the game also lets you meet the locals and have kind of fun going through the tourist hotspots and the zones. Dungeons of Hinterberg seems like a really nice, unique game. This one does arrive on Game Pass on July 18th. As the day one Game Pass games continue to roll, we have another one here in Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, and this is definitely shaping up to be one of the better action RPGs of 2024. And the cool thing is it's just around the corner. There's a lot about this game that gets me excited. It seems to kind of offer like a Souls-like combat mixed with some like fast-paced parkour mechanics, and then there's some magic. Here you play as this fierce warrior taking on forces of the undead sent by angry gods trying to destroy humanity. Now besides the combat, the game world also seems pretty like diverse and appealing. It's got like these ancient ruins, villages, castles, even these wild forests, and each of these areas seem to be home to different enemies, and they look quite terrifying to be honest. Flintlock sure looks promising guys. We don't have to wait too long to see how this game looks. It arrives day one on Game Pass on July 18th for cloud, console, and PC. Now if you're looking for a little bit more action but also strategic, we have another day one Game Pass game in Kunitsu Gami Path of Goddess. It's a Japanese inspired action strategy game that looks absolutely stunning. You play as a protector of this divine maiden, and your goal is to protect her while she cleans the villages off of this like evil defilement. And you do that exploring the villages during the day to rescue cursed locals and then recruit them to help you out. You also have to set up defenses, you have to train the villagers and position them strategically before the night falls, because right as when night happens, you'll actually be battling these evil monsters that enter your world from this portal from other realms. Path of Goddess looks like a unique one and a good one, set for July 19th for cloud, console, and PC. So we're going to start talking about some August games, and we have another pair of day one Game Pass games starting with Creatures of Ava. This is an upcoming action adventure game where you play as Vic. This is this young explorer on a quest to save this gorgeous looking planet from a deadly virus. Now the game seems to be taking inspiration from like Pokemon and maybe a little bit of Power World, offering a vast world full of wildlife creatures of all different types. But instead of fighting them, you actually heal them using your magical flute. You get to explore an open world with different ecosystems, different cultures, and befriend these wild creatures as you look for a cure to this rapidly spreading disease. Creatures of Ava is coming to Game Pass on the 7th of August, and it should be a good one. Then we have the game Sopa, another day one Game Pass game. This is a wholesome narrative driven adventure game where you play as this little boy who falls into a fantasy world while trying to fetch a potato for his grandma. Now you have to find your way back while exploring this magical land full of mystery, and you'll be solving puzzles, you'll be talking and meeting with monsters, you'll have to outsmart thieves, you'll be visiting these like bustling markets markets. There's really a whole lot to this game that looks really neat. Sopa looks like a great choice for people of all ages, so if you're looking for like something for, you know, a little one or something along those lines. And then it's a short adventure with a touching message and a lot of memorable cast of characters. Kind of reminds me of like a Pixar movie or something. This one does arrive sometime this August on Game Pass. All right, we have a couple of rumored games here. Now this one might not be true, but it's a leak from inside from Tom Henderson, who suggests that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 might be coming. This would be the first Call of Duty game to join Game Pass. We already know Black Ops 6 is set to arrive on Game Pass this October, but maybe we'll see Modern Warfare 3, you know, a little bit sooner. Again, this is just a rumor, so we don't know if this is coming for sure, but I wanted to get this on your radar. So just announced yesterday, for those Game Pass subscribers who are on Ultimate and PC Game Pass, you're gonna have early access to Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beta. Early access starts August 30th to September 4th. For everyone else, open beta will be September 6th to the 8th. Now remember guys, that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is coming day one to Game Pass, and I gotta say, I for one am super excited, and the fact that we're getting beta access early even drives the hype even more for me. With that, thumbs up if you're enjoying the video, as it helps us find more Xbox gamers out there who want to know more about the new games coming to Game Pass. Now another rumor game as well is Atlas Fallen, and this is an open world action RPG that kind of like mixes exploration elements of Assassin's Creed with like a fast-paced combat that's inspired by God of War, although not without its imperfections. The game comes packed with tons of side quests, open world activities, and a vast variety of regions filled with a lot of secrets to uncover. The leak doesn't tell us exactly when this game's joining Game Pass, but it does say soon, meaning we might not be waiting too long. All right guys, with that, let's talk about the big elephant in the room, and that is that Game Pass is changing, and so are the prices. And this is a big deal for, you know, users like myself who use Game Pass Ultimate, because the price is increasing from $16.99 to $19.99 USD. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw up this really simplified tweet that explains it. But guys, Xbox Game Pass Core is still kind of staying the same at $9.99. PC Game Pass is seeing a price increase from $9.99 to $11.99, but it will see day one Game Pass games. I'm a person who uses both PC and Xbox, so just kind of keep that in mind. Sucks for PC Game Pass users if you strictly use it for that. Xbox Game Pass for console will no longer get day one games, but this is for new users. But if you stay with the subscription right now though guys, you'll actually still get to play day one Game Pass games. I guess you kind of get grandfathered in. Keep in mind though, if you let your subscription lapse, you might lose that bonus, so just kind of keep that in mind. Also, one bonus for Game Pass for console that's new and that's being included now is online access, something that wasn't there previously, so at least you kind of get something if you only used Game Pass for consoles. Now Xbox Game Pass Standard, this is this new standard tier. It's going to be $14.99. It will not include day one games. This is, I think, for new users as well, but basically like any first party games or the Call of Duty games, you will not have access to those games with the new Xbox Game Pass Standard. Finally, as I mentioned earlier, the new price is going to be $19.99 for the Ultimate tier. This gives you access to basically everything. This is a price hike. I don't usually share a ton of my opinions on this channel about things like this other than games, really, when it comes to Xbox, anything along those lines. But I will say, for me, is my opinion, I think this is a huge bummer, and I think the reason they're doing this, and again, this is my opinion, is because I think of Call of Duty, and then of course accommodating and offsetting the cost of something like having such a big title like this being playable without actually buying the game. I shouldn't just say though it's just Call of Duty, but I think it's going to be all the upcoming big AAA games as well that we'll be seeing day one from Xbox Studios. So it's a bummer if you don't care about like Call of Duty or Xbox Studio titles, but you still maybe wanted to play some cool day one games. I mean, there's a lot of cool AA and like indie games that come out that are really hidden gems, and then the occasional AAA title that does drop as a day one game on Game Pass Ultimate. You'll kind of lose access to that if you don't want to like go up this tier. So you do have options though. If you don't care about Call of Duty or day one games, it's still going to be a downgrade, but you can just kind of get that standard version or just Xbox console Game Pass subscription. So all around a big bummer, but overall, let me know what you guys think about these changes below. And finally, we have the games leaving Game Pass, and it's just a few, which is good, but I do have some amazing free games that have launched this month on Xbox, so check out that video on the screen.